So this is my old factory. It did me good in the beginning, produced what I needed in the beginning. Not only did this factory make plastic, but it made fuel and rubber as well, which is very helpful to me. But now I need a lot more plastic to be able to build all of the materials and final parts and stuff for the game. So we need to upgrade this factory and we need to build it bigger and better. I've been doing a little bit of building, and I don't know what I'm doing. I have no plan for this building whatsoever. I didn't make a blueprint like I did for the last few factories I made, like that guy and the nuclear plant and stuff. This one I'm kind of just throwing stuff out there, and I'm thinking maybe I do something like a circle. I've already started kind of doing a circle and things are just weird, but I've been just like kind of going at this a little bit here, like slowly going through it and making a circle. I don't know if it'll look good or not, but I'm gonna keep going with this. And yeah, this is where I'm gonna put the factory. So I don't know, I think my plan for this factory is I want to see, like, I've been doing factories with lots of space inside. Like my aluminum plant has a huge amount of space inside, the nuclear plant still has plenty of space inside. This factory, I want to see if I can squish the entire factory as close together as like humanly possible. Like I need a lot of refineries and such for this factory, but I want to see if I can really squish these together, like no space kind of close. And I want to build like pathways and walkways through this. So this is probably the fanciest building I build if I do end up building as I planned. Okay, so a lot of building later, a lot of head scratching later. I did a bunch of circle. It's like nicely loops around here a bit, which is pretty cool. Finish that off, and I started adding on another section to it where the building is going to extend off into whatever I decide left and whatnot. But this is what it looks like, and I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I want to do a circle or not. I really don't know, but I'm gonna keep going with this, I think, for now, and then I'll decide whether I like it or not. But we will see. Be back with you guys in a bit with a little bit more of a progress update. Hopefully it's looking a little bit better than this. So I kind of wanted to keep an aspect of the old factory down there in the new factory. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna put this tower that we have on the old factory, and I'm going to copy it and put it onto this building so that it stacks up, as it'll be taller than the actual building itself as it is on this building, and connected it up to this. And I don't know if I like this part. Like, this part I think would work if I was doing a different kind of factory, maybe something along the lines of the design like the nuclear plant or the aluminum plant. But I might change. I'm probably going to change this, to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of it. I also don't know why I did the glass in the back like that, like scooting around the corner. That was a weird choice on my part, but I'm going to probably extend this and then figure out how I'm going to put the windows in there, because the windows aren't going to be the same as they are in that one. Now for the corner of these windows, I think for this big window here, I'm just going to do a flat window, some flat window covering this. So it's just some big flat window. I've said flat way too many times. But for these little corners, I didn't want to do flat windows because I thought it would look too boring and stuff. So I decided to make a indent with a different type of window, this hex frame window. And I did that on the inside. So the inside's different. And then, yeah, I just used pillars for, like, it's just a simple design, I guess. Just something to make it so it's not so flat with the glass. There's a little bit of depth in the building. It's nothing fancy, but I think it'll work. I'd have to build it more times on more of the corners and stuff to see if it really looks good. Maybe even swap this around so it's the other way around. I don't know. I'd have to see. So when I was given that terrible explanation of what I wanted to do over there on that building, this is what I meant by what I was doing. I was going to put a bunch of randomly shaped windows with all these different depths, I guess. Like this one's really far back, this one's really close, some of these have thin walls, some have thick. And then I've extended up the tower, did a few more windows like here, there. I completed the bottom of the tower and connected into the ground so it would look good. I'm liking this. I think this looks a lot better with the build than the previous design that I did that looked like awful. So I think we're probably gonna go with this. So I'm gonna go and probably continue extending this because it's a little bit of a pain to build like this. Kind of just gotta grab your doodads, take it out a few blocks, you know, just, I don't know, however big you want the window to be, and you just this, but you gotta be careful because some of these are very awkward, and I didn't want half these windows to be exactly the same. Going around this corner I think is probably going to be a bit of a struggle, but probably it'll be fine. I'll probably be fine. Yeah, you just do that, and yeah, it's just a lot of work to do this. So before I go ahead and start like extending this little doodad over here, I thought that I might explain kind of how I think the flooring is going to work out. So I think the flooring is going to be more matched up with these windows and stuff. So like this flooring's here, this flooring's here, this one's here, this one's here. Just kind of like making it like a mess and just all over the place. kind of thing. Because I want this to be like, I want this factory to be as squished together as I possibly could make it. So like no space whatsoever inside, because I think it might look cool just to have like no space inside. So this might be a very skinny factory. This might be as wide as this factory gets. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I kind of want the floor to be like this, just all over the place, spaghetti mess, just all these different layers and tiers and what have you. I've also extended the window all the way down to the bottom here. I'm quite happy with this. It's looking really, really good. This side here may be a little awkward, but I can't do much about it because it's against this wall. It's just weird to do. I didn't put a piece down here because this weird, I don't know, air kelp thing, but or coral thing. So a little bit more extending work later, and I've done the corner and I rounded it. It was actually a little bit difficult to round it off without making it like line up perfectly with this, but I think I did this. I don't know about this big thick window in the front here. It's a little bit flat. I don't know how I'd fix that, to be honest with you. I did extend this all the way down to the bottom, and I put a window in here, and I still don't know what to do about this piece of coral down there, but for now I'm just gonna leave it. Yeah, this is what it's looking like right now. I did not realize that those two are flat together. I don't know how I'll fix that. Maybe I'll fix that. I've moved the floor a little bit, brought the floor over here a smidge, just kind of like connected it up in a weird way. But yeah, I think this is probably as wide as this factory is gonna be, but I don't think I'm gonna continue extending on the actual exterior shell of the building, and I'm probably gonna start actually building up the factory part of the factory, because I want it to be as squished as possible. So I don't want to have like the factory super squished up against one wall, then having some weird open space gap on the other side of the factory. Kind of like how the inside of the nuclear plant, I was squishing everything up because I didn't think I'd had enough space, and then when I got towards the end of building, there's just that huge open space right below the control room. So I don't want that to happen, and I don't want the kind of space that I've got inside of the aluminum factory over there. So yeah, I think the next little bit of this is just going to be actually building up the factory part of it, because I want to squish it together. I don't have any sort of, well, I don't really have a blueprint for this. I have I've got a rough out drawing of what I want to do, of how everything's going to look and how many buildings and such I'm going to need. It's a lot of refineries, specifically because I'm using the polymer resin and water recipe to make plastic. So I need like 100 refineries to make 2,000 plastic per minute, because that's how much I want to make. And yeah, it's just a hell of a lot of buildings. And I think I'll definitely be able to fish. Wow, fish. Yeah, I'm definitely going fishing in this game. I'm definitely going to be able to squish all of those in here for sure. Like, especially since I have this huge tower here that maybe I won't fill in. I don't know. We'll see. But this area will definitely be squished up and filled with refineries and constructors and what have you that I need. Okay, so I went around and I've added in some more flooring. So the thick flooring is probably where factory, well, what I'm thinking here, my thought process is the thick flooring, like the 4-meter flooring, is where the factory buildings and such will be placed. The thin flooring, so this 2-meter flooring, is where walkways and stuff will be, so how I will be able to get around the factory. I tried to make sure that this was as like super random all over the place, you know, just like super crazy weirdness. Like, I've never built like this, and it's kind of weird doing this, but I think this will look really cool when it's actually filled out with buildings and such. This bottom platform I'm probably just gonna leave flat, because this could be where trains come in and stuff like that, so materials can come in. I even did down here a little bit, because we're going to need water, so we could use this space for collecting water and whatnot. But the hardest part about this, I think, is going to be belting things around and making everything fit, which is the challenge that I'm trying to give myself, is make everything fit. And I think everything will fit just fine in here. Just some buildings are, you know, a little bit sizey. Like, I need like 147 of these total in this building, and I could only fit one row of them here, then maybe like 2 rows if I maybe like, yeah, 1 big row across there. That will probably be like, I don't know, like 10-20 of them, maybe like 20 of them. Here could be like another 6, maybe 7 of them. Like, all I'm trying to say is it's going to be hard to make everything fit, but I think that'll be a super fun adventure. The next thing I got to do, or I'm going to do probably, is I'm just going to put the glass in the windows of these big square windows, because I want to see what it looks like with glass in the windows. So I filled in the glass on, I lied. So I filled in the glass on all the windows, and this is what it looks like with all the glass filled in. Not on these windows, but just the brick windows, and I think it looks really good. Probably looks better from down here without like the dark reflections or whatever. Yeah, that looks way better. That's for my thumbnail spot. Yeah, they're looking pretty good. I'm liking that. I'm liking it a lot. It looks really good. I need to finish the windows on this building as well. I even did all the windows on this side too, so it's looking really cool, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out. According to my notes, I need 147 of these, so I somehow have to magically fit 147 of these and belt them together. So I don't think a blueprint for this will do me any good, so leg spike, hello. And I think I'll just go ahead and start throwing them in here, and I think I'm gonna fill this space. Wait a minute, is this even like, is that clipping through the roof at all? Like, I think that's actually clipping in the roof. Why is it lagging so much? Hello? I think that's clipping in the floor. Yeah. That's the problem with trying to build these. They're so tall. I don't exactly have a lot of tall spaces in here. Like, all the tall spaces that I have are all like here. Like, here's probably a good place to set up a good view of them. I could probably fit a handful, I guess, in here. I'm gonna set up just a few of these real quick here, and we'll find out how many and how compact they can actually make this. So if we go like that, and then let's build like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fits very nicely in here. These ones, I think for now, what we're going to focus on with these refineries is we're going to focus on the polymer resin, because we need like 6,000 polymer resin per minute here. So we're going to need a lot of crude oil going into these guys. Let me just look at the thing here. This will make more easier if I can see what I'm doing. I think these guys, this is what what's the recipe? I didn't even write down the recipe. Okay, I think this is the recipe I'll probably end up using here. We need 6,000 of this per minute, which is 47 refineries, which makes sense now. Which means we just need to get crude oil to these guys, and then it outputs heavy oil residue. And what we're going to do with the heavy oil residue is some of the plastic that we produce is going to go back into making us containers, and then we're going to package the heavy oil residue, and then we're going to just, for now, we're going to send it into a awesome sink just to be dealt with. But in the future, it could probably be used for something else, but I'm not 100% sure what that is at this moment. We need to build 47 of these bad boys, so I guess let me figure out how to make 47 of these fit very nicely in here. And we're outputting a liquid. I think I'm just going to make that liquid just sitting on the bottom, and then have the conveyor belts go and like merge up top. That way we don't have any like issues with backlog or anything like that. And then we'll probably send the heavy oil residue down, so we never have a problem with head lift. Well, not really head lift, but just so that it's always draining out of here. So we'll send all the heavy oil residue down, and then it can be processed, I guess, down here in this flat space. We'll come back to this flat space in a bit, because I got some plans for what I want to do down there. But up here, the heavy oil residue, now I just got to connect everything up. Well, actually, before I do this, I probably should look how much heavy oil residue is being pumped out per minute. Oh, it's by producting 1,000 heavy oil residue per minute. What's going on here? What in the cursed, what happened? What? All right, well, yeah, what? I'm so confused what happened there. Anyway, yeah, this has got 1,000 being, these pipes only handle 600, and there's 1,000 coming out. So we're going to have to do some extra pipe work here. Not that big of a deal. Can I like not get that pipe? There we go. Yeah, I don't know why the pipes did that. Why did the pipes do that? How many machines is 600 of these? So if we go to the recipe here, 20, I don't remember what the button is. What's the button? This button, 20 times 600, 12 machines. So 12 of these will only fit on, how did I turn the flipping light on? 12. So we got to put 12 of these on one line, and then the rest will be on a different line. So I guess let's do the back 12 on one line, and then the front 12 will be on their own line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these guys here, this is where this stops, and these guys, I shouldn't have did that, but whatever, we'll just delete back to there. And then we'll go underneath the ground here, and then we'll just use a smaller platform. So I guess just a smaller platform here. I want the smallest one, and then we'll just bring the pipes down onto this bottom platform down here, and then they'll, yeah, merge up nicely. This pipe's gonna have to do some funky little weird yahoos over here just to nicely merge up real quick with next to the other pipe. Okay, we're gonna be funky. I see how it is. How do I do this? That's where that pipe will go, and then this pipe, the full 600 pipe, will appear here. We'll just scoot down here, so down to here, and then it will scoot out of the way a little bit like that, and then we could delete this platform and that guy, and then we could just readjust that with a tower or not like that. Then these pipes will just be sent just essentially down like that, I guess. That makes sense. Okay, I just gotta finish connecting these up now. Okay, so I have finished it. I have finished the belt work and it's all connected up. I didn't finish the belt work connecting materials into it because all we got to do is connect up one pipe, which I guess could have made a bit more sense later on, or in hindsight. But this is what it looks like. It's a little bit spaghetti mess and all over the place, but it should work, I think. We still have a ton of those guys to make. Where are we going to fit 33 more of these? I don't know. We got space right here that's like damn near perfect size, and I think we might as well fill it up, you know? We might use the same general system as that, and I'm probably just going to copy actually the exact same thing I did over there to right here. So let me just do that real quick. Right, so a lot of finagling later, and I got the pipe to fit over here. This was like a whole like 15 minutes trying to figure out how to get this pipe to like work properly, because it wouldn't work, and there was like a weird twisty thing. Like if I use this on here, like you can see that it's like angled and twisted. I'm not really sure why it's doing that. I couldn't figure out how to make that not happen. So I just moved the pipe like this down, and then just it's a little angled. You can kind of see it if I stand like here. You can see that the ground is a little different, but it's not something that you'll notice if you're just looking at this from afar, and I'm not gonna like complain about it too much. I'm gonna try and just like forget about it and be like, well, I got it over with. I don't want to spend 20 minutes trying to figure out one pipe. Well, I don't know why, but I feel like it'd be cool to have trucks moving around inside of here. Could I possibly make trucks move around? So if like these walkways that I was making for myself, I wonder if I could possibly fit trucks in this place. Well, maybe not like the big ones, but to bring materials around, just like small materials like these guys. They're like really big, and this isn't gonna work. Like he's the size of the walkway. But these little tractors, can they carry stuff and automatically unload stuff? That was not what I meant to do. So I'm assuming these can unload, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know how those work, but maybe I could actually make trucks move around this. I kind of want to see if that's possible. So I'm gonna, I guess let's do some testing here with my 30 FPS. We need to build a little bit of a road network. So let's build a little bit of a road network. This tower could be where the trucks go and do like their little up and down, so they could get like from this level up to the next level kind of thing, right? So if a truck's down here, let's see something. So we need to refuel the trucks, and we need to actually give the trucks their materials. So what we could do is not what we could do, what we have to do is we need to take these truck stations, and we need to make little spots somewhere along this route here where the truck can drive in, stop, pick up its material or whatever it's moving, and just like, I don't care if this factory is super efficient. I should straight out say that. I don't care if this factory is moving like all of the plastic that I need fast enough out of here. Like these trucks could go around and take the finished product of plastic and take it and move it on so it could be sent out to the world or whatever, or down to a central storage system or something. But I just want trucks to move around here. I don't know why I think this is a cool idea, but this is just an amazing idea. But for these trucks, this is going to be hard. I've already said that, but this is going to be really difficult to figure out. How do we make trucks stop? So I guess we need to make little pullouts essentially for the trucks to come into. So we need to have like, I guess let's use this little slot here. Let's make a pullout for the trucks to stop in. Road barriers that we could use. So if I had the right thing on, we could use the road barriers to block off sections of this so that they could only access this from one area. So like this is where they come in like that. So this little road barrier here stops them. So it's like a one-way loop here. This goes that way. And if we had more cartridges, I'm gonna go grab more cartridges. We now could do a bit more painting here. So we got like an arrow going this way, and like this is only a one way that way or something like that. So grab their materials like the polymer resin, which could be brought over and put into this, stuff like that. So yeah, this is the truck. Wonderful, beautiful truck fits perfectly in there. So I guess let me do a little example if I would put fuel in the truck first. So we're a little truck. All right, so we're a little diesel truck and we need fuel. Not that we actually do, but we need fuel. So we're gonna come down here, scoot our way over into this little slot. We're gonna come up in here and we're going to yoink ourselves. Wow, I overshot that. We're gonna grab ourselves some fuel. So fueling up, grabbing any materials we need. And then once we're done with that, we can just scoot on our way, do a 180, come back around, be back on our way if I was on the right side of the road. This is gonna be really squishy, but I think it might look super cool. Don't drive off the edge, stop! Oh, how do I get out? I'm stuck. Oh, I got out, okay. Yeah, so I think this is a bit bigger than it actually needs to be. Like, I don't think we need 2 tiles of space. space if it's going to be a one-way. It would just be probably in like a corner here. We probably want 2 tiles of space, so we could probably could just do this with the barriers. We don't need this little middle section, unless like this little middle section is like probably a walkway, if I could like not miss this barrier. Thank you. Then we can actually move this truck station up a little bit. So now we got like this much space here to say we got our truck station. Let's just shove her in right. Let's go there. So then we don't actually need this much space back. We still need half a tile of space for the conveyor belts and what have you, but we don't need that much space, to be honest. So we don't need like, we probably don't need this. We'll probably leave that tile for my own sanity's sake. This tile we can get rid of. And then I guess let's just go a full tile in the back because we could do a little bit of decor. So like storage for fuel and stuff. So we could do like a storage container or whatever here. So like if we need to store up some fuel, we can put like a nice, beautiful little storage container in here where the fuel kind of like scoots in before it goes out. I don't know. But yeah, this is probably going to work a bit better. If we take away this and then we do barriers to protect the trucks from, I guess, falling off the edge, or well, they're not really going to stop the truck from falling off the edge, but it'll definitely help with preventing truck. So I don't think we need this because the turn into this spot isn't that bad. It's just the turn going, if we do that, this arrow's backwards, obviously. And then the truck scoots on its way out of here. And then it's got this nice big turnaround space that I've left made for it here to actually do its turning around. I could have a truck refueling the trucks. No, I'm not going to do that. That's too much. That's too much truck. Let's start with our little trucky friend. Let's see. Let's give this guy a little bit of fuel. So if I was on the correct hand side of the road, like a civilized individual, the truck would slow down. Whoa, okay, yeah, this is going to be fun recording paths for this. But the truck will come in here. Oh, sorry, barrier. We'll come over here and the truck will park, unload anything. So F to load cargo, I guess. And when it's done, he'll just scoot on his way. Oh, I'm sorry, barrier. Oh, yeah, maybe this isn't enough space for the trucks. Okay, so we need a bit more space. Then they'll scoot on their way. I can't see. Then they'll go back to their side of the road essentially and, you know, scoot on their way. Get back your truck. Okay, yeah, this, I think we definitely need more space on this turnaround. Like, there's not enough space by any stretch of the imagination here for a truck to turn around. Let's do a little bit of redesign, essentially, here. I don't know, probably like half a tile of space would probably be enough, but we might as well just go all out with the space take up. We have all this space here anyway, so we might as well use it. And then I guess let's go with our walkways. So myself's walkways will be, I guess, along this, like this, just along the side of the truckway. Something like that, I think, might work pretty cool. We got a walkway. I'm not a fan of this. This kind of looks a little wonky, so maybe instead of doing an actual platform like a catwalk, maybe we do like a underbelly concrete foundation, something like this. You would snap to the right spot. I mean, the only problem with this is it's actually massive compared to the walkway. I didn't really plan that like in the slightest. Or we could do half a foundation. We could do this, or we can do, and a little bit of finagling later. And this is what I've come up with. I've kind of like readjusted things a little bit. Forgot the color and arrow properly a few places actually. Relatively speaking, this is kind of what I was going for with this idea. It is cool. I like this idea a lot. I'm not saying I'm not going to do it. I'm definitely going to do this. This is freaking amazing. It's just going to be so hard to make this fit in this area that it's actually kind of going to be a little bit mind-blowing to make this fit. But this is kind of like what I'm thinking for trucks are going to be driving around. We got like this little space here for them to refuel and pick up materials or drop off materials, whatever they may be doing. We got this space to turn around. Hopefully that's enough. I can change it if I need to. There's lots of space to do so. I got this little walkway here, which is more going to be used for me to run around on, I guess, so that I can like access different areas without having to run around on the road. We got these nice little crosswalks and all over the place. I think I'm gonna go with this catwalk path along the side of the road. Maybe readjust like the actual piece that the road is on and then figure out how to support it. This is relatively what I'm going with, and I think this is a really cool concept for something I want to do in this build. It's different than most builds, I would say, that people would probably do, as in this is going to be like an entire truck system built inside of a building. If I can make it work, I think I can. This isn't too difficult. Like if I was to drive around it, it's just the only problem is a matter of space, is making sure everything here fits. Like making some of these corners, like this corner now has enough space to make it. Wait, maybe I might need to add one more tile of space, but you get the point, right? Like there's pretty much enough space to make all of these corners. It's gonna make this building a lot bigger in like the scale of the building, because I need to be able to fit all of these buildings around in here. But I think other than having space problems, this is gonna be super cool for bringing resources and stuff around, mainly the finished products, but maybe even resources themselves. Truck all of the materials, all of the polymer resin from these guys out of the factory, essentially. Well, not out of the factory. We just need to truck it to where it needs to go. So if we get a conveyor belt, then we'll bring this down. Now we're on ground level. If we come over here and then we get ourselves a bit of a pillar support, we need to go higher than the truck. Like, I guess that high is probably good enough. And if we build a bit of a platform over here, we'll just do 1/2 meter foundation right here. I think this is definitely high enough, but I think we're gonna go, let's just go that high. That's not really a nice height now, is it? So this one, it just merges into that, and then that's where the plastic, that's what I was going for. There's the words. That should work wonders. Maybe I'll use 1/2 foundations for this as well. Might as well. That looks good like that. I think maybe a skinnier platform, but for now we'll go with that. Then we got a bridge going over. Unfortunately, not even on either side. It doesn't really look even, but whatever. I will try and deal with it. We can even use this to bring power lines around, because we'll need to bring power lines and what have you around the map anyway. So we might as well just do like this to hide most of the power lines, just on top of the little pillar bridges and stuff. What we can do there. All right, so a lot of work later, like actually many hours later since that last clip, and I literally have edited the entire video since that last clip. I did a lot of more work when it comes to the road. As you can clearly see, I did a lot more design work here. I started building the actual ramp area where the trucks could go up and down, kind of like just theorizing how it's going to work and whatnot. Built some more platforms in here, and then started working on this crazy mess of like roads and stuff, trying to make the road network actually fit in this area. So we got another truck stop up here to drop stuff off. Same design as down below. It's just got a little fuel station here, and you know, the one way going that way, and the kind of stop off area here. Got lots of space for, you know, buildings. Well, I say lots of space, but I think majority of the space has been turned into roads, but I will figure out my space problem in the future Blinko problems. I got lots of walkways to get around in here. I've even did some support pillars and stuff. I did all of them connected together, so you can pretty much get everywhere in here by the pillars, the walkways. See, if you want to get down here, you just like scoot down this way and down, and this goes down into some platforms. And I tried doing another design of road here, just like some weird turny curved road, but then I was like, well, I gotta do these platforms on it, and I can't do the platforms on this or I never tried anyway. Yeah, you can't do a platform on like a corner piece, so doing this little square corner works just as good. It kind of looks a little cooler, honestly, because it's a little bit more square and factory like, I guess I could say. But yeah, this is what I've done, and I'm probably going to end the episode here, because after me editing the entire video up until this point, literally to this clip is the last clip that I recorded after I finished editing the video. So I'm going to end the video now, because the video is already super long. And yeah, so if you guys enjoyed and want to see this truck project really come into fruition, and really, if you guys want to maybe see it actually completed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, and yeah, so you don't miss out, you know, do the normal YouTube stuff that you do when you find somebody that you find interesting, because I'm totally interesting, right? But we've done a lot in this episode, and I'm happy, and I can't wait till the next one. So goodbye.